Hey guys, welcome back to another live stream in the Hey Ed YouTube channel. I am your host, moderator, and all around nice guy, Edward Anderson. Good to see all you guys here. Okay, so this is going to be my third in a series called Confessions, right? My first two videos were Confessions of a Stockbroker, then Confessions of a Trader, and now we're talking about Confessions of a Trading Instructor. And what I'm basically doing is giving you my history on Wall Street in these three presentations, right? So good to see you all here, and this will wrap up my confession series. Now, just so you know, what I do is I edit these live streams and post them on the actual YouTube as a YouTube video. I do that because, for time, to save you and to respect your time, because the live streams tend to go like twice as long as the actual final product because there's a lot of dead air in there. So if you're wondering why this doesn't appear on the live button, it's because, most people don't know how to click the live button anyway. So I do want people to see these because I think it's some good insight into my background. Okay, so how did I transition from being a trader into a trading instructor? Okay, so again, by this time I'm already at a blue chip firm and I'm applying my trading skills toward my clients, helping them find good trades. And I was teaching other guys how to trade, and some of them went on to become actual full-blown professional traders, at different firms. So eventually, my two boys got to kindergarten age, and I decided that I did not want to raise them in New York. So I decided to move them back to Minnesota, move my family to Minnesota, where I grew up. Now, it just so happened that my firm is a large firm. They had an office in Minneapolis, so it was perfect. So I just moved over to the Minneapolis branch. And I kept doing what I was doing. And I made friends with a younger guy in the office, another stockbroker. And he was of the same personality as me. He liked action. He wasn't interested in buying the 30-year long bond and sitting on it for 30 years. He wanted action, and right up my alley, right? And his office was right next to mine. So I'd be pounding on the wall. Take a look at this. Take a look at that. Now, by this time, technology had advanced quite a bit. And then the SEC came up with what they call the SOES system. Most people have never heard of this. That's an acronym, SOES. It stood for Small Order Execution System. I won't go into a long diatribe explaining that here, but just so you know, it was a way of disseminating the trading information that's usually held just for the back office of the elite people at the big firms, all right, and insurance companies, right? You people today are very spoiled with what you have today. Back then, the average person didn't have access to bid and ask prices. Okay, now everyone gets it. So you guys are really spoiled because that is a very recent phenomenon in the history of Wall Street. Right? But anyway, so that small order execution system licenses were given out here and there by the SEC for people to have access to that same information. And this guy, my buddy in there, he got one of those licenses. I mean, he had the only, it's called the Soul Shop. He had the only Soul Shop in the state of Minnesota. So he went off and did that, and I envied him. Okay, he just picked up and went. And about a year and a half later, I decided that I was tired of the bureaucracy of working for a big company or being a stockbroker in general. Because when you're a stockbroker, when you're in the financial industry, there are tons of regulations that get in your way, right? And most of them are just stupid, right? But what are you going to do? Those regulations, and you have to follow them. And I was just kind of fed up with the bureaucracy, and I decided that I just wanted to trade. I just wanted to trade for myself. I just want to take my account over to his Soul Shop and and trade, because he had access to the fastest trading platform that was available at that time. So I went over there and we had a lunch, and I told him that I planned on coming over there to trade. And he made a proposition to me. He said, listen, Ed, I'm thinking about opening up the office to the general public and giving them access to the same data and order capabilities that I have. And I told him, well, that's really cool. He said, I want you to teach them how to do it. And I told him, well, listen, I'm not really interested in that because I just want to trade, man. I don't want to deal with customers anymore. I just want to trade my own account. But he said, I'm the only person he knew that had all three criteria. I had trading experience, I had sales experience, and I actually had experience teaching people, not only just teaching in general, but teaching specifically how to trade. So I fit the bill. So he offered me a piece of the company. He made it worth my while. So my job then was to advertise the company, advertise these classes, and then bring people in, charge them for the course. And then when they started trading, I would mentor them. We had a very big trading floor. And I was doing commercials on TV. Matter of fact, I've got a VHS tape with some of those commercials I did back then. It's in storage. I should dig that out and share it with you guys. So it's kind of cool, right? And it shows me, doing commercials, on cable TV. And I also hired one of the professional football players for the Minnesota Vikings to be a spokesman for the company. So we would go out and do events together. And we'd go to the state fair and we'd do radio shows together, talking about him and talking about the trading platform. It was a pretty exciting time. Now, this is the very beginning of day trading. Okay, day trading had just started to come into being. Okay, and it caught fire, right? And before long, everybody knew somebody who was day trading. The problem is, okay, so you have this really powerful trading software now with access to the same trading data that the professionals had in these elite professionals in the back room of these big firms. Now they have it. And it's a little bit like giving a loaded gun to a kid. Okay, it's dangerous stuff. It's one thing to have access to the information and see the information. It's another thing to know what to do with it. Okay, how do you actually trade? Most people did not take the time to even learn how to trade. They just went in and said, "Oh, I can do it." And those people, you can imagine what happened. Okay, so there are stories left and right of people who lost everything trying to day trade, trying to trade on their own, and that's where my course became very valuable. So I designed this course from scratch. Okay, now I had experience teaching other people how to trade. But not just the layperson, not this person off the street. So I had to design a course for people who had no experience with the stock market or with trading, nothing, right? So the course I designed was pretty intense. It was 2 weeks long. The manual was this thick. It was the size of a phone book. A lot of you don't know what a phone book is, but it was big. Okay, you could have used it as a doorstop. That's how big it was. And the poor people in those early days, in those early classes, man, they came out at the end of those 2 weeks, they were shell-shocked. They were just exhausted with all the stuff that I was throwing at them. All sorts of charts and rules about trading and risk analysis and all the rest of it. And then, of course, when they started trading, we strongly recommended that they come into the office to trade, because that way they can ask questions, as they're trading. A few people traded remotely, but the vast majority of people came into the office to trade. And so my job then was to mentor people. So I couldn't go to the coffee machine without being stopped by at least 3 people asking me, what about this? What about that? And reminding them of the lessons. And then at the end of the day, I'd have these post-mortem discussions with people coming in my office. We'd talk for like 45 minutes about what they did wrong. And almost every time they knew what they did wrong, but they just needed me to kind of clarify it for them and to give them solutions about how to avoid that. So a lot of it was me playing psychologist, is me, reminding them of what to do and what not to do. So again, I learned a lot about, human psychology and what the average person trying to trade. So I had another little aspect to trading to add to my portfolio. So when I talk about trading and when I talk about the average person trying to trade, trust me, I know what I'm talking about. This is based on, must be thousands of hours of one-on-one conversations with people who are trying to learn how to trade. And I mean, there's a reason why most people struggle at trying to trade. Over the years, I refined the course. And I decided, oh, you don't have to know that. Oh, you don't need to know that. And I try to boil it down to make it as simple as possible to get people started. And now I can teach people how to trade in 90 minutes academically, right? The rest is psychological. But I mean, I can't sit next to someone and have them, and babysit them all the time. But we had this technology that made the masses now able to make the same kind of money that was only available to an elite few prior to that. So I've seen a huge evolution in the world of trading. I've seen the whole thing. Now, when I designed my course, now this would have been in 1996, okay, when I designed that course. And as far as I know, I'm one of the very first, if not the first person in the country to design a course on trading that was available to the public. So I was right there at the beginning. So there again, I was a pioneer again. I was on the cutting edge. So in many stages throughout my career, I was right there at a front row seat to the next evolution in the world of trading. So I've seen the whole thing. Okay, now having said that, so here we are today, where the technology is unbelievably powerful, and the average person has access to the same information, the same capabilities as your most prestigious back office trading rooms. Okay? But most people still don't know how to do it. They don't know what to do with that information. And trading is still a very popular subject. I'm still one of the most popular guys in the room when I go to a party because everyone loves trading. They love the idea of trading, right? It's a sexy, topic. I'll tell you though, as I wrap up this call, thank Tom. I didn't super chat. I think that's my very first super chat on my live stream. So thank you very much. $20. Okay, beautiful. I appreciate that, and very nice of you to say. I'm glad that I'm giving you some insight that you hadn't heard before, and yeah, okay. So if you're thinking about trading, find a way to get educated because it's going to save you a lot of money. Now, truth of the matter is, it doesn't have to be that complicated. It's as complicated as you want to make it, but it doesn't have to be. All right, keep it simple. That's why my course now is 90 minutes long. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you've heard me say before that these days, when someone asks me about how to get started trading, and I don't teach anymore. It's just too time consuming, and I've got too many other things going on in my life, so I don't actually teach trading anymore. But if someone wanted to learn how to trade, my question back to them would be, why? Why bother? With the advent of trading platforms out there, I mean, look, there are companies out there right now who are set up to do the trading for you. Right. And now they're not all created equally. My personal favorite one at the moment is Daisy FX. I've done several videos on Daisy FX. Just check out my YouTube channel, and I have a whole playlist on Daisy FX. Now, the reason why I like Daisy so much is because it is the latest evolution in trading, where it takes artificial intelligence and overlays it on top of algorithms, on top of regular trading rules. And the performance has been amazing. My results in Daisy FX has been spectacular. I'm not going to mention specific numbers here because I'm not allowed to. Besides, this particular live stream isn't meant to be a commercial on Daisy FX, but it's something that just have them do it, because it takes an awful long time to find your trading skin, to find out your niche. And during that process, it's going to be very stressful, it's going to be very time consuming, and it's going to be very expensive as you make those mistakes along the way. And there's no guarantee that you will ever end up being profitable. Here, just let them do it, and it's a 70-30 split, right? They take 30, you keep 70, which is a industry standard. And in my opinion, you're not going to beat these guys, at least not in the long run. You're not going to beat the returns that these guys give you. And it's all hands off, and you don't have to. So it's a way of getting trader type returns without having to do the trading. So you should really, look into that. Any other final comments? Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you, Trisha. Nice of you to say. I appreciate that sentiment. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. So that ends my 3-part confession series on my background. I hope that you learned a little bit about my background. And so as I make ongoing videos talking about the markets or talking about financial things in general, I'm not just pulling it out of the air. I'm not just copying some other guy's YouTube videos, okay? I'm giving you as much insight as I can give you to share it with you. If you don't mind, please give the video a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And maybe you'll be interested in joining my Hey Ed WhatsApp group. So, Ed Anderson, live from Minnesota, signing out.